Another year in the country I expected to stay only 1 year in, and I'm currently on my 6th year. And to be completely honest, the country I see myself in for the rest of my life, maybe? I don't know. I've never said that out loud, but it's truly how I'm feeling, especially lately. I feel so incredibly lucky to live here, to have built a life here, to have gotten through those first few years that were pretty tough, but were so worth it, to have completely immersed myself in the Spanish culture, and to have let it change me and my perspective of life completely. Sorry for getting a little deep in the first 30 seconds of the video, but honestly, I feel so strongly about this place and I'm so in love with it, and I can't wait to share more of it with you guys on this channel. So in this video, I'm gonna take you guys with me during this month of January and show you what my life has been like here in Spain. The first month of the year started off really strong, honestly, a lot going on. I kind of just wanted to ease into the year calmly, doing my vision board and all of those like yoga and meditating. Yeah, that did not happen. It was honestly pretty chaotic, like a lot of events and trips and different work things and fun things as well, which is very exciting. I feel like my life here is just so unpredictable. Before, I used to see that as a bad thing, like my life is a mess and I don't have anything together and I never know what my life is gonna be like tomorrow and the next day. Like, I have no routine, I don't go to bed at the same time, I don't go to the gym every day, I don't eat the right foods all the time. But honestly, at this point, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just happy to be here, y'all. I'm just happy to be here. So now I see this like chaos and unpredictability as a pretty cool thing, and I feel actually really lucky. So I started off the year in La Preciosa Tierra de Galicia, aka Galicia. I guess that's how you would pronounce it in English. I'm not really sure. I feel like you wouldn't say Galicia, would you? Galicia sounds so country to me, but I don't know, like, is it Galicia or Galicia? Because like the name Alicia is spelled like the same way, so I guess it has to be Galicia. In Spanish, it's Galicia with your favorite little Spanish lisp. Very cute. That's so good. Wow. Galicia is in the north of Spain, and that's where my boyfriend's from, so we always spend Christmas there and New Year's, and it's amazing because in Spain they celebrate Three Kings Day, which is January like 6th or 7th. So literally Christmas goes all the way until this day. Like, Christmas mode is in full swing until January 6th. Can you imagine? Like, it is amazing. And it's even more important for some people than Christmas in terms of like gift giving, because they give gifts on this day instead of Christmas. Now a lot of people do both, but this is a huge day, and so the Christmas spirit is alive and well, which I love, because I just remember getting so sad like the 26th when Christmas just felt completely over in the blink of an eye. Here it's not the case, and you celebrate and you open gifts and you have a great lunch and you eat the amazing roscón de reyes, which is this amazing thing that I actually made for the first time. I spent about 8 hours working on this the day of Three Kings Day. Hey, this was risky because literally we did not have a backup roscón, so if this turned out badly, I think I was gonna ruin Christmas basically. But good news, it turned out amazing, and now I want to make this every single year, even though it's a lot of work, but to me, it's completely worth it. The weather in Galicia is pretty bad sometimes, a lot of rain and wind and colds, so we spend a lot of time in the house just enjoying meals together, relaxing, playing board games. And one meal I will never forget, and I am craving it so badly while editing this, is the seafood rice that my boyfriend's brother made. It was unreal. He made everything from the broth to the base to the just everything, and it was seriously, like, my mouth is watering watching this.
Está bien, yo creo, ¿no?
Está perfecto.
Sí. ¿Eh? Sí, yo sí.
Wow.
Pues trae ahora.
Pero a la vez que el arroz, como en otro plato.
Tiene
No,
pintón.
no, mejor.
And now back to reality, aka back to Madrid. Madrid, I will always have a love-hate relationship with you, but after almost 3 weeks in Galicia, the pendulum is swinging closer to the hate side. But this is just because I feel so at home in Galicia with my boyfriend's family. I love the tranquility of it there, the walks on the beach, the slower pace of life in Coruña, the city that he's from. But after a few days in Madrid, I always swing back to the love side. I love this city so much, and like any healthy relationship, you go through good moments and bad ones. And being a Texas girly, sometimes the cold, and specifically the cold and wind combo, it's truly the worst combo, and it gets me in a bit of a bitter mood in the winter. So on those days, I get a bit tired of it, but honestly, Madrid is amazing. Even in the winter, when the sun's out, it feels so nice, and there's nothing to complain about. So I started off the year meeting back up with friends and enjoying the best parts of Madrid and falling in love with it all over again, as I always do when I actually allow myself to leave the editing cave that is my home. I really want to get better about this in 2025. One of my friends said a quote to me that I desperately needed to hear for the new year, and it was something like, choose one or ruin both, which in my case, I'm constantly in this state of stress of feeling like I need to be productive and working all the time. I never feel like I've worked enough, and so in moments where I'm supposed to be enjoying with friends and family, I'm not, because I just feel like I should be working. So choose one or ruin both will be my motto for 2025. So these days I've been trying to choose the one with my friends, trying some new restaurants, getting coffee, and learning to crochet. So basically all of my favorite things. Then on my own, I've been working quite a lot, but as I said, I didn't really start the year the way that I wanted to. It was pretty chaotic, and I just feel like I haven't been doing the choose one or ruin both, and I've been constantly feeling like I need to be working, and I've been working till 11 or 12 at night and on the weekends too. This is not a new problem. I've probably had this problem for about 3 or 4 years now, so I think it's time to change. Anyone who is self-employed or even like students would understand this. Whenever you're in this constant state of feeling like you have to work, you end up working all the time, but then not at all, kind of. Like, you just are way less productive when you do these things like working until 12 at night, because you never take time to rest and just disconnect completely. And so then while you are working, at least in my case, I get really easily distracted. I work really slow. Like, something that should take me an hour will take me like 3. So I think this year is about time to create these boundaries. Like, I can't remember the last time I didn't work on a weekend or in the evening, so I think it's about time. But one thing I have done recently to actively change this is I picked up a new hobby, knitting. So I started some classes with these sweet Spanish grandmas, and my teacher, she's not a grandma, but not to be dramatic, but this has changed my life. Knitting allows me to completely disconnect, to stop scrolling on my phone, because I literally can't, because I have 2 needles in my hands, and just to relax and do something with my hands and create amazing things that if they're not too ugly, I can wear them. That is crazy. I can wear my own creations. So this has helped my mental health so much. Other highlights included taking my dog to the vet because he ate 1 coffee bean that my boyfriend dropped on the ground, and apparently you can die from that. What can we do? His name is Latte. He just wanted to see what all the hype was around his name. He's like, what's a latte? I want to know. Another one of my favorite moments was going to the Asian supermarket in Plaza de España with my friend Maggie. It kind of started raining sideways, so that wasn't the best, but it was so worth it because I am obsessed with this place. There are always so many people, and it's such a small space. It's so stressful, but it's so enjoyable at the same time. So I stocked up on so many of my favorite things: kimchi, sushi rice, frozen dumplings, the delicious cucumbers they have, which I don't know why they're so much better than normal ones, and a bunch of sauces. Then after not even 2 weeks at home, I was back at my fave place, the Madrid airport. Okay, we need to take a minute and talk about European airports. I want to share my discovery with with you guys, I feel like the experience that you have at an airport perfectly represents the place that it's in. Let that brew in your head and let me know in the comments if you agree. So that being said, I love the Madrid airport. The first time I was there, I was shocked at how clean and calm everything was. The biggest difference for me between European and American airports is the security experience. I don't know why this is, but the American security experience is so stressful and chaotic. It takes all of the energy out of me, and in Europe I barely ever experience lines, and if there is a line, it's really efficient and it'll never be the reason that you miss a flight. That'll always be your fault because you're never gonna be like 45 minutes waiting in a security line, and the overall experience here is just not stressful because hey, it doesn't need to be. Sometimes we tend to make things stressful and chaotic for no reason, and here I find that happens less. Also, having access to a clean bathroom in an airport is a game changer, and European airports definitely win in that category. Just the feeling of having a clean bathroom whenever you get there early and you need to go to the bathroom, or you have a layover and you want to freshen up a little, or the best is when you get to a new destination and it's too early to get into your accommodation, and so you can change clothes, do your hair, do your makeup. Like, oh my gosh, it's such a game changer. So anyways, now that my European versus American TED Talk is over, where are we going? We are headed to the Canary Islands, specifically the island of Lanzarote. And again, I don't know how to pronounce this in English. I promise I'm not pulling a Hilaria Baldwin. I just genuinely have only heard these words pronounced in Spanish, so I don't know. Lanzarote, I guess? I'm sorry, I'm not saying that. I'm gonna say Lanzarote because it feels so weird to say it any other way. So this is my second time in Lanzarote, and this was a pretty random last minute trip that one of my boyfriend's friends wanted to do, so we said why not? And the best part is that a few weeks before the trip, I was FaceTiming one of my best friends, Masha, and I mentioned the trip and I was like, oh, you should join us, kind of as a joke because I didn't think she actually could come, and then she came. It was the perfect way to start the year, reuniting with one of my most special friendships. The story of how we met is, and forever will be, the coolest friendship story I have. So we were both solo travel girlies in Iceland in 2018. She was 18 and I was 22, and we ended up in the same room at the hostel we stayed in, and we immediately clicked and spent the entire week traveling around the island together and just feeling like we'd known each other for years. So it definitely feels like a full circle moment. We're here on another island that actually is pretty similar in terms of like volcanic landscapes after 6 years of knowing each other. It's so crazy. So if anything encourages you to take that solo trip, I hope that our friendship story does. Although the weather in Lanzarote wasn't great for swimming, it was a bit too cold and windy, it was still really nice to be in such a beautiful place with a slower pace of life for a few days with friends. The landscapes here are crazy. You feel like you took a spaceship to Mars because of how unique these landscapes are. Volcanoes, lava rocks, sand dunes, beaches with crystal blue water. It's just a whole nother universe.
Oh my god.
Every time I come to the Canary Islands, I feel like my heart rate goes down because of the slower pace of life here, and I really wish I could take that slow pace and bring it to my life in Madrid. But here we are back in Madrid, back to the crazy pace of life here. But deep down, I think I also love the chaos. The chaos of being invited to an event the morning of and rushing to find something to wear, showing up to the event and there's a horse outside and a red carpet and flamenco music playing. There's people from all over the world speaking different languages, so many people with so many different stories all crammed into one little space. And this phenomenon of so many people from different cultures crammed into little bars, restaurants, and hotels can be multiplied by tens of thousands all across Europe. And I find that to be so special and something very specific to Europe. The proximity of all of these countries to one another creates this cultural blend that's so cool to experience, especially in these types of spaces, where you hear so many languages and see people from all over. It's so cool. I typically attend a few influencer events every month, which I'm very, very lucky to be invited to try different products from different brands that I love. So this month I attended one by Paula's Choice, which I'm obsessed with their products, and this new one they released with peptides I've been using this month and I love it, and I didn't get paid to say that. Another unexpected moment was getting invited to my first influencer awards. These are called the anti-premios, which is like anti-awards. So this is kind of going against the system of the typical influencer awards here in Spain, which there are a lot of influencer awards here. Being an influencer in Spain is like a thing. Like it's a pretty big sector in the job market, I would say. And some of these awards are a bit fake and rigged, and it's always the same people who win, or it's their friends. So this kind of goes against that, which I really appreciate. The influencer space here can be really superficial, well, here and anywhere really, and just full of big egos, and that's something I really try to distance myself from, because I genuinely do not feel more special at all just for having some more followers on social media. I'm the same person I was now and before, so I feel really lucky to call it my job, because I feel that I finally found a job where I can express myself creatively every single day, and I feel so lucky, but it doesn't make me any better of a person than someone else. So I really don't like being around people with these inflated egos from being an influencer. So I appreciate anything that goes against that vibe. I spent the last day of January actually working on my vision board with my little latte. I'm honestly a fan of vision boards all year round. I don't think it has to only be in January, so that's why I'm not too worried that it's at the end of the month. But I did want to do it ASAP just to kind of get my goals in line, organizing my thoughts and what I want to see this year. And so I'm still not done with it, so I can't show you that in this video, but in the next video I'll show you guys my finished vision board. I'm doing it in a journal so that you guys can see kind of what my goals are and how I do my vision board. So, and I'd love to hear if you like this format, if it's too boring, if it's interesting, if you prefer like me speaking directly to the camera, or you like the voiceovers. Just kind of let me know what you want to see on this channel. I have only a few other videos, so you can tell me which kinds you like, which kinds you don't like. That's the cool thing about starting a new channel, is just being able to do whatever I want, and so I love to hear what you guys want as well. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hasta luego!